Assalamu alaikum, adab, hello. Thank you for staying on, and thank you for new guests who have joined us. We will now be discussing a new book by Maneeza Naqvi. I am Sabine Javeri. I am the author of Nobody Killed Her and Hijabistan, and I will be talking to Maneeza Naqvi, who is a senior writer. She has already done 5 books. This is her 6th book. Maneeza has also been associated with the Pioneer Book House. It's been a very interesting journey. Why don't we hear from Maneeza about the journey, her journey as a writer, her journey as a creative, what this unique book is about, and also her association with Pioneer Book House.
Okay. So thank you, Sabine. It's a pleasure to continue to sit here and talk and continue to talk about Karachi. Let me just quickly tell you that it was December 2016 and probably December 10th, 2016, and I was sitting in my office in Washington, D.C., where I worked at the time and had been working for 30 years. And I read an article online in the Daily Times, and the Pakistan Daily Times. And it was an article by a journalist called Arshad Yousafzai. And the headline of that article was, "Oldest Bookshop in Karachi Closing Down." There was a photograph in that article of the outside of the bookshop. And I can't tell you what happened to me when I looked at that photograph. What happened to me was that it was almost like a sound. It was like a whoosh kind of a sound. I looked at that photograph and it was just a whoosh. And I felt such a rush of connection with the outside facade of this building. And that might have been because in the mid-80s, I briefly worked in Karachi for 3 years. And I was so taken with the whole area that is the old part of Karachi. And I was a foreigner in Karachi. I was from Lahore. And after Lahore, I'd gone abroad. And when I'd come back, I'd come to work in Karachi. So I was looking at everything with rose-colored glasses, plus I was looking at everything like a tourist would, and with or an outsider would, with an appreciation that only an outsider, I think, can have for a place, where you look at everything as a thing of beauty and want to know what its history is, and you want to learn about it, and so all my novels from that time on, because I started writing my first novel, Mass Transit, right around the time that I started working in Karachi in mid-80s. My novel, Mass Transit, revolves around that area. My second novel, On Air, is also in that area, and A Matter of Detail is in that area. So I had this inexplicable connection with this. Anyways, I saw this headline, the oldest bookshop in Karachi closing down, and as I told you, something strange happened, and it might have been because December 2016, sitting in Washington, D.C., I had a sinking feeling because the noise was so loud of a new kind of loudness about, how do I put it? There seemed to be hate in the air. And I just had this desperately sinking feeling that I'd been warning about this in my writing and in talking to friends, and now here it was, and there was nothing I could do about it.
And what specifically do you mean by that? Do you mean, because there is this decline in this tradition of reading for pleasure in our land, especially in our urban private school spheres where parents actively encourage their children not to read for pleasure, and reading has become constricted to academic or textbook reading. So was it this decline of the reading culture, this closing, the physical closing of a space, a bookshop, which was associated these memories of reading and culture, or was it something more sentimental?
So I really felt that we had arrived at December 2016 across the world, and where I was sitting in particular, and in Pakistan at the same time, across the world there is this growing disdain for history and the story of the other, and a sort of a chauvinism rising. And I do think that is because we have lost our culture of pausing, reading, analyzing, thinking through history, and we have become slaves to our iPhones, including myself. And that has had a profound effect. And so after seeing this headline, I headed for Pakistan and I came to Karachi. I found the bookshop that I didn't know. I had never even entered the bookshop. I certainly didn't know the people there. And I went in and I introduced myself to the owner, and I said, I said this to him. I said, Zafar Sahab, आप अपने आप को मेरी आँखों से देखिए, आप अपनी इस दुकान को मेरी आँखों से देखिए, आप इस हफ्ते में इसको बेचने वाले हैं, ठीक है? आप मुझसे बार बार ये पूछ रहे हैं कि अगर आपके पास पैसे हैं इसको ख़रीदने के लिए तो आप ख़रीद लें, बिकॉज़ मैं तो बेच रहा हूँ, कोई भी किताबें नहीं पढ़ने आता. लेकिन आप सोचें, अगर किताबों की दुकानें ख़त्म हो जाएंगी, जब किताबों की दुकानें जाएंगी तो फिर तो हम भी जाएंगे ना, फिर तो हम भी जाएंगे. तो खुदा के लिए आप कोशिश करें कि आप अपने आप को मेरी नज़रों से देखें, अपनी दुकान को मेरी नज़रों से देखें, और अपना मकाम इस शहर में, उसकी तारीख़ में मेरी नज़रों से देखेंगे तो आपको अपना आप बहुत मुख्तलिफ नज़र आएगा. आप समझ जाएंगे कि आप कितने ज़रूरी हैं, कितने ज़रूरी हैं इस शहर के लिए.
And what was his reaction to that?
And I remember that first day जब मैं ये तकरीर दे रही थी, and वो यूं करके बैठे हुए थे, because when I came into the shop, he was sitting like this, and the shop was in darkness, तारें हैंग कर रही थी, और जो आलम था दुकान का मैं आपको बता नहीं सकती कि वो अब दुकान नहीं लग रही थी, और मुश्किल था उसको पहचानना एक किताबों की दुकान के ज़रिए. लेकिन वो बात मैं बक करती रही 2 घंटे तक. तो उसके बाद उन्होंने यही कहा कि मैं बेच रहा हूँ, आपने ख़रीदना है तो आप ख़रीद लें. तो मैंने कहा इतनी क्या आपको ज़रूरत है बेचने की? तो उन्होंने कहा देखें, मेरे बहुत सी ज़रूरियात हैं, और वैसे भी मेरे पास 2 साल हैं. मैंने कहा ज़फ़र साहब खैरियत? तो उनका बस मेरे पास 2 साल हैं, इसलिए कि मैं अब 52 का हूँ. मैं उनके साथ वो वहाँ बैठे, मैं कहा ज़फ़र साहब आपके लिए खुशखबरी है, मैं 54 की हूँ, तो अभी तो आपके पास 2 और साल तो हैं. तो उस पर लगा जैसे थोड़ी सी मुस्कुराहट उनके मुंह पे छाई. तो उन्होंने कहा अभी तो आपने दुकान देखी ही नहीं है. मैंने कहा है, ये तो है, देखें खूबसूरत टीक की शेल्व्स अगर साफ़ हो जाए, इतनी खूबसूरत ये छोटी सी दुकान, इतनी प्यारी. तो उन्होंने कहा अरे नहीं, ये नहीं, आपने अभी तो आप ऊपर गई नहीं हैं. मैंने कहा है, और भी ज़्यादा करके है, यहाँ ऊपर है, कोई और जगह भी है? ये सर हाँ, वो पीछे जीना है ना, आप ऊपर जाएं. मैंने कहा कहाँ? बिकॉज इतना अंधेरा था, कुछ नज़र नहीं आ रहा था. तो कहा पीछे है. तो मैं ऊपर गई. अब जो मैं ऊपर गई, मैंने कहा ज़फ़र साहब, वो नीचे नज़र आ रहे थे, बिकॉज मैं एक जगह पहुंच गई थी जहाँ देयर वाज अ ओपनिंग फ्रॉम विच यू कुड सी द शॉप डाउन स्टेयर्स. पंखा भी उसमें से हैंग कर रहा था, वो भी अंधेरे में थी. कहा ज़फ़र साहब ये तो इतनी खूबसूरत है, आप सोच कैसे सकते हैं बेचने का? इसे नहीं, अभी आप पहुँची नहीं है ऊपर, आप ऊपर जाएँ. मैंने कहा ये ऊपर नहीं है? इसे नहीं, इससे भी ऊपर. तो मैं अपना रास्ता ढूंढती हुई बिटवीन ऑल द कार्डबोर्ड बॉक्सेस, एंड कौन अपनी दुकान को ऐसे करता है. एनीवेज मैं ऊपर पहुंची, और वहाँ मैं बिल्कुल दंग रह गई. उस खामोशी में, اس اندھیرے میں جیسے کہ وہ میرا انتظار کر رہی تھی. ایک اتنی لکھ و دک جگہ جس میں شیلفز اینڈ شیلفز, اور میں اس کی بالکل اس اینڈ تک گئی. اور پھر وہاں سے میں نے وہاں مڑ کے دیکھا, اور مجھے ایک دم سے یہ خیال آیا, یہاں لوگ بیٹھ کے باتیں کریں گے, وہاں میں چھوٹی سی کچھ کر لوں گی, آرٹ سی گیلری بنا دوں گی, شاید تیسرے کمرے میں گنجائش ہو کیفے بنا دیں گے. پھر خیال آیا شام کے 5 بج رہے ہیں, تم کسی کی دکان میں اوپر ہو, وہ عجیب سے لگ رہے ہیں نیچے. کسی کو کراچی میں تمہارے جاننے والوں کو نہیں پتہ کہ تم کہاں غائب ہو گئی. بھاگ کے میں نیچے گئی, ان کے پاس بیٹھی. میں نے کہا ظفر صاحب یہ دکان اتنی خوبصورت ہے, آپ نہیں بیچ سکتے, میں کل آ جاؤں آپ سے بات کرنے کے لیے؟ ان کا آ جائیے. اس طرح سے میں 4 دن تک ان کے یہاں گئی, ان سے باتیں کرتی رہی, اور چوتھے دن انہوں نے مجھے یہ اجازت دے دی کہ میں وہاں پہنچ جاؤں 2 جھاڑوؤں کے ساتھ اور 24 جھاڑنوں کے ساتھ. اور بس پھر میں لگ گئی, اور میں نے اس دکان کو جتنا میں سبین صاف کر سکتی تھی کر دیا. اور وہی کیا جو میں نے اوپر وہاں کھڑے ہوئے دکان مجھ سے بول رہی تھی جب کہ میں کبھی کچھ ہوتی تھی, میں نے اپنی طرف سے اسے دلہن بنا دی. اب وہ دکان ہے, اب 3 سال ہو چکے, 3 سال 2 مہینے اور شاید 12 گھنٹے اور دکان ہے. اور میں ہر دن وہاں جاتی تھی یہ کہہ کے چلو آج جا کے پھر فیل ہوتے ہیں. اگر میں ایک دن بھی اس دکان کو اور زندہ رکھ لوں, ایک دن بھی, تو I'll consider that a real victory, you know, and all because really it's true. While I was cleaning the shop, there is an atmosphere, Sabine, inside a bookshop. When you're surrounded by books, as you know,
Yes.
you behave differently. میں دکانداروں کے ساتھ بازار میں بیٹھی ہوں.
امیجنیشن
نہیں بٹ میں وہاں دکانداروں کے ساتھ بیٹھتی ہوں نا, ٹھیلے والے بھی ہیں, دکانیں بھی, وہ سب اندر آتے ہیں. کبھی کبھی وہ ظفر صاحب سے گٹکا لینے آتے ہیں بیکاز وہ شیئر کرتے ہیں, یا وہ کھانے کے لیے دوپہر کو آتے ہیں, یا ایسے ہی آ جاتے ہیں. وہ دکان میں انٹر کرنے کے ساتھ ہی ان کا ایک رویہ بدل جاتا ہے.
ایبسلیوٹلی. اور منیسا یہ تو آپ نے ہمیں بہت ہی خوبصورت انداز سے یہ بیان کیا, آپ کا جو سفر تھا اس دکان کے ساتھ. پر آئی ایم شیور کہ یہاں پر جو لوگ ہیں ان کو یہ بھی جاننا چاہتے ہوں گے کہ کیا یہ کتاب اس سفر کی کہانی ہے؟
یہ اس سفر کی بھی کہانی ہے, یہ میری بھی کہانی ہے, یہ کراچی کی تاریخ کی بھی کہانی ہے. آپ اگر اجازت دیں تو میں آپ کے لیے تھوڑا سا پڑھ دوں. تو اس کتاب کی یہ بات ہے کہ پچھلے 3 سالوں میں نے بہت ساری چیزیں وہاں بنا دی تھیں کہ کسی طرح سے ان کی دکان چل جائے. تو کبھی نوٹ بک بنا دی, کبھی اسکارف بنا دیا, کبھی ایک نقشہ بنا دیا پورے کراچی کی ہیریٹیج سائٹس کا جو کینوس کا ہے وہ بکا. اس نقشے کو دیکھ کے سوچا کہ اس کا سلک کا اسکارف بنا دیں, وہ بکا. پھر یوں چیزیں کرتے رہے کہ ان کی کتابیں رینیو کر دیں, لا بکس. پھر فکشن, اردو میں فکشن, انگریزی میں فکشن, سندھی میں فکشن, پشتو میں فکشن, بلوچی میں فکشن, سب کچھ وہاں لا کے ان کی لا بکس کے ساتھ ان کی دکان میں یہ اس کو بڑھا دیا.
میرے خیال سے کیونکہ صرف 10 منٹ اور بچے ہیں, ہم کچھ کتاب کے لیے بھی چھوڑ دیتے ہیں.
تو میں نے پھر سوچا نیکسٹ ٹائم یوں کرتے ہیں, اب یہ سب چیزیں تو بنا دی ہیں, تو میں تو رائٹر ہوں, کیوں نہ میں ان کے لیے ایک کتاب لکھ دوں. کتاب لکھوں گی تو اس کا جتنے بھی, this is a book for Pioneer Book House, about Pioneer Book House. It can only be bought at Pioneer Book House, and all the money from the book goes to Pioneer Book House. So I'll just read you a quick part, if that's all right.
میرے خیال سے 5 منٹ کی ریڈنگ رکھتے ہیں اور پھر 5 منٹ ہم کویشچن اینڈ آنسرز کر لیتے ہیں.
So I will, the bazaar is Karachi. It is this, a steadily heightening, swirling, frenetic energy. It is this, a theatre of risk-taking which follows the calls of hope, time to the arc of the sun, peeking in its fading light by night, disappearing behind shutters, swallowed up by empty lanes, lying silent and desolate. Then it is this all over again the next day, morphing back to the cacophony and crescendo of movement and labor, becoming an incoming, rising high tide of waves upon waves, of thousands upon thousands of moving parts, all seemingly in motion in thousands of intricate and overwhelming directions, cramming and crowding every inch of air and space with din and dew. Yes, it is this, a miraculous city, and I am in the heart of it. Pioneer Book House, where I sit, is bookended by a lighthouse at one end of the road, where the harbor remains a source of wealth and woes, and a mausoleum on the other. Perhaps once upon a time, Debel or Alexander's haven in a Greek's imagination, or Karkula or Kulachi Jokun or Karachi and so on, and now Karachi for sure, and a fact. Around the corner from where I sit is a park called Aram Bagh. If I walked 200 steps from there, not more, I reach Pioneer Book House's front door. The park is located behind Pioneer Book House and is between Old Frere Road and Ratan Talao Road. This entire area is known as Aram Bagh. Each step taken there should be considered sacred, referential, step by step, if you believe in such things. Why? Because the sacred have walked here, and by the looks of all that pass here, maybe they still do. Legend has it that Lord Rama and Sita came to rest here for a night on the way to Hinglaj Mandir off the coast of Makran in Balochistan, just across the hills, past Liari, past Chakyawada, past Mangopir. But right here, where I sit, just around the corner, centuries after that illustrious visit, this locality came to be known as Ram Bagh. The communities that came to live here over centuries shared in each other's myths, beliefs, festivals, and traditions, and still do. Exactly 200 steps from Pioneer Book House. 200 steps, I count them. And as I walk counting and concentrating, two young boys run past me, brush past me, narrowly missing, bumping into me, and spoil my careful count. The other kids working in this lane are from Liari and from further away in Swat and Bajor, and come here seasonally to work. They look on grinning as I narrowly escape collision. Be careful, Amma, Auntie, Appa, Madam. I'm called out to in these many different ways here. Madam rankles and makes me giggle. People and places are transformed here, Aram Bagh. After partition, the names of many places were changed, but this one, given the nature of the communities that live here, has merely accommodated and adjusted to suit everyone, much like sugar in milk or a chambeli blossom floating on a full bowl of water. And so it is called Aram Bagh. Ram, his repose, and his name are gathered and incorporated like code or like an anagram, Aram Bagh. And I too am content and perhaps at ease here, though seemingly in a frenzy of frenetic activity. I too am on a trip of some sort here. I am mapping and charting my own happiness. I am just 200 or so steps away from the Bagh, in a bookshop, one of the oldest bookshops in Karachi. Everyone gets to have that moment when you start to mend, that moment when the pieces start to join, when the heart starts to feel whole again. And here, in that moment, which I hope will be prolonged, I am trying my best to save this book house from closing. It is not as old as Lord Rama and Sita's visit here, nor as old as the Abbasi Qutub Khana in Juna Market circa 1910, but still it is older than the partition that camouflaged the name of this garden and forced it into mufti, as it were. Come to think of it, after all, a book house is that ark that carries within it all our stories, from lighthouses to mausoleums and back, and all the places in between, and all its shelves together create a flotilla of memory of humanity itself.
Well, Karachi is my city too, and now I feel nostalgic. I remember going to Tidbit bookstall in Sadr with my parents and, buying books. So before we open it up for Q&A, I have a question. You talked about, how life has become so fast-paced and very true. There's very little time to reflect. There's hardly any time for self-reflection. There's so much distraction. Technology is much to blame. But books are still there. But books, too, have become prisoner to corporations like Amazon.
Yes.
So in this day and age, how do independent bookstores survive? Not everyone is lucky enough to have a patron like you. So what strategies are there for independent bookstores to survive in this day and age?
So, that's the key of it. Thank you, Sabine, for that question, because that's the essential question here. A bookshop, I think is that space in a city which is our secular religion. Bookshops are our temples. And it's going to take all of us to continue to struggle every day to keep them alive. Bookshops are not, they might not be profitable, but they're invaluable, right? And that's what I'm trying to do. I don't know if I'm going to turn a profit, but I'm sure as hell I'm going to try to make it as invaluable as possible in the minds of Karachiites, at least. And so I am trying my hardest every day to come up with a new idea, some new gimmick maybe, to draw people in. And I have to tell you something. People really love to read. They're amazing. They love books. But the thing is, books are very expensive in Pakistan. मेरे यहाँ कौन आता है वहाँ पाइनियर बुक हाउस में ज़फ़र साहब की दुकान में कौन आता है मैं अब खींच के डाओ मेडिकल के कॉलेज के बच्चों को पकड़ के ले आती हूँ जो आगे बिल्कुल हमारे आगे डाओ मेडिकल कॉलेज है तो वो अपने पॉइंट्स मतलब बसेस को में चढ़ने के लिए जब इंतज़ार कर रहे हो तो मैं भाग के बाहर जाके उन्हें अंदर ले आती हूँ अब आहिस्ता आहिस्ता वो लोग अंदर आ रहे हैं लेकिन जो ज़्यादातर लोग आते हैं वो हमारे इर्द गिर्द ही होते हैं देर आर लॉट्स ऑफ पठान शॉपकीपर्स जो क्लॉथ मार्केट में वो आके मुझसे किताबों की फरमाइशें करते हैं हमें ये वाली किताब मंगवा दें बाजी आप मंगवा सकती हैं आप कुछ भी कर सकती हैं आप लेके आए
तो ज़्यादातर आपको कौन सी किताबों की दरख्वास्त आती है
तो ज़्यादातर फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल जैसे मैंने कहा पश्तो की किताबें सिंधी की जब सबीन में किताबें पहली दफ़ा पब्लिशर्स से लेके आई मैं कोई 30 टाइटल्स पहली दफ़ा लाई और फिर 300 टाइटल्स तो उस दिन जिस दिन पहला हमारा लॉट आया सिंधी किताबों का मैं क्या बताऊं आधे घंटे के अंदर आधी शेल्फ्स खाली हो गई थी जो सिंधी किताबें हैं लाइक यू नो आई एम नॉट अ बुक सेलर बट आई लर्नड that day, oh my God, recognize who your market is. It's the people that are walking here and they love books.
Yeah, no, very true. But also, I think it shouldn't just be the responsibility of booksellers, right? I think we all, as consumers of literature and art, also have to make a conscious effort to reach out to independent bookstores, even though it's inconvenient. It's convenient to just shop off the net. But I think we have to make a conscious effort. And on that note, since we are now out of time, maybe we can just take in a question or two.
That would be lovely.
If anyone has a question.
Yeah, you know, it's going to take someone to have a fire lit under them or in their heart to help someone. You know, a part of what I'm doing, it's obviously, about a bookshop. It is about a bookshop. But it's also in the process, I didn't realize that I had so much energy in me or that I had something to give, that I knew a lot about stuff and that I could add my battery cell to this failing light bulb, you can say, and help it out. I could take it along. And that's I think what you need. I think bookshops are also a metaphor for, what all of us as writers and readers are constantly engaged with, it's a struggle, right? It's an inner struggle, it's an outer struggle, it's maybe a form of resistance, if I may
It's also
use
a
that.
form of expression.
And a
yes,
form of
absolutely.
expression.
We are out of time now, but perhaps you can continue the conversation with Maniza. She is around,
Yeah.
and she'll be signing copies of the book.
Just brief rejoinder what he said. Firoz Khan's building belonged to a Ghulam Rasool Trust. It was Waqful Aulad. They could use it, they could rent it out, they could not sell it. In July last year, its dome mysteriously fell. We have eyewitnesses who filmed it all. It was demolished. Previous to that, Firoz Khan's bookshop caught fire. They put it down. They managed to put it down. After 3 days, it again
That's so
caught fire.
sad.
There's a deep conspiracy. I represent
It's
Lahore.
called capitalism. This deep
I
conspiracy.
represent Lahore Conservation Society. This is a protected building. There's a deep conspiracy. The very owners, they are behind all this. I'm sorry I took too long.
Yeah. Well, I think you speak for all of us in the agony of knowing how destruction takes place, particularly in places where assets are highly valued and that land can be used for something far more profitable. But going forward, all of us have to think in terms of sharing, and we're not going to survive unless we think about building a sharing economy, an economy
And also thinking of books and reading and literature as part of our cultural heritage and part of our cultural growth. Just like our children need education, they also need to grow, they need to develop their sense of literary appreciation, their sense of, I just think, I don't understand why reading books for pleasure is so segregated from our daily diet. We need to encourage that.
That may have a lot to do with the fact that our private spaces, our privacy is being encroached upon. And books are where we can disappear into. We are never lonely with books. And it's the most private of spaces where we can be whoever we want to be and be with whoever we want to be and go on all sorts of adventures, As a child, if you read a book about the jungle and animals, and they're your friends, you learn about empathizing with the other. And I think in the world we live in now, it's about surveillance, and it's about tell me all there is about you, even your most private thoughts, and I will sell you a pair of shoes based on those thoughts.
Unfortunately, we have gone over our time, and I think there's another session here. But please feel free to continue the conversation with Maniza outside this room. And Maniza, do you want to tell them where copies of the book?
So get your pens ready, because this book can be only bought at Pioneer Book House. And if you call Pioneer Book House, you can look them up on Facebook under Pioneer Book House and order it online. There is no price to this book. You can ask them to send it to you for free with the delivery charges for Lahore, or you can pay for it whatever you think is appropriate for keeping a bookshop alive. So the number, right? So that's the only way we're going to keep bookshops going.
So where can they order it from?
So they can go on Facebook and order it on the Facebook page for go into their inbox for Pioneer Book House, or you can call 333-307-3438. So that's 333-307-3438, and that's the number for Pioneer Book House.
All right. Thank you so much, Maniza. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you so much for coming.